Right now, we're in the midst of the Winnipeg Baroque Festival. This remarkable festival is one of the true signposts that spring is here. One of the many highlights of the festival is the annual Bach Marathon concert put on by the Winnipeg chapter of the Royal Canadian College of Organists at Young United Church. This year, the Bach Marathon takes place this Saturday, April 5th at Young United. It starts at 1 p.m. and goes until roughly 5 o'clock. On display will be a whole variety of instruments and singers rejoicing in the music of Bach. If this is a marathon, it is a marathon of the best kind. This is a fantastic way of spending a Saturday afternoon soaking up some Bach. And joining me here over Zoom to talk about this year's Bach Marathon concert, I am joined by Lottie Enns-Braun, who is the chair of the programming committee for the Bach Marathon, as well as the music director at Young United. Hey, Lottie, great to have you here.
Thank you so much.
And happy birthday to Bach. If you go with, depending
Yeah.
on what system as we're recording this, it's his 340th today. Okay, so you sent me the Bach program for this year's marathon. It's an incredible number of performers and music that's going to be happening. How long ago did the programming committee start sending out requests for people to perform at the marathon concert?
Well, this is our fifth time round, and so we're fairly confident that we've figured out how to do this now. And one of the things we've learned is that you don't ask people too soon because then they forget.
Right.
Um, so Linda Fern actually is the force behind a lot of this, and she was unable to join us. But Linda sent out notices, I believe, sometime in the early part of the new year.
Hmm.
And she begins with her email list from the previous year. So anybody who has performed gets a notice saying, hey, this is coming. And we just are getting a tremendous response. And then all of us who can think of anybody new that we think probably should be involved, we forward her email on to them. And we actually had to turn people away this year.
Wow.
Yeah,
Because there was that many. That's
yeah,
fantastic.
yeah.
Mhm. I believe the last year was the first time that the Royal Canadian College of Organists teamed up with the Baroque Festival to collaborate on the Bach Marathon. It must have been effective because you're doing it again this year. What advantages does teaming up with the Baroque Festival give you?
Oh, well, our audience increased just hugely.
Mm,
It was quite a shock to our system actually because that was our fourth time, so we thought we knew how to do it. And one of the things that we always include is food. So we
hmm.
had food tables inside the sanctuary at Young, and that's always worked just fine for us, and tables where people can sit at. We had so many people. We had great concerns that if the fire marshal came, they were going to shut us down.
Really?
It was just wild. It was so packed. So we have now we're moving the food out into the common area, and that will give us a lot more seating space. We don't want to dispense with the tables. We love the casual feel of that.
Mm,
And we don't want to dispense with the food because that also contributes to sort of the cafe type atmosphere that we're after.
hmm.
The other thing, yeah, so it was the promotion that came along with being part of the Baroque Festival was beyond what we were able to do. So
Yeah,
yeah, I mean,
yeah.
it brought little problems, but all good problems.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense, right? All these arts organizations getting together and promoting, one thing and all the variety of concerts. Mm. I know one of the mandates of the marathon is to have people of all ages and skill levels perform. What was the thinking there, and how does it make you feel seeing a bunch of youngsters playing the music of Bach and having so much fun doing it?
I truly that is the most delightful part of it for me. I mean, I love I I wouldn't be able to tell you what would be the thing I'm most looking forward to in the program, but I really, really love that we have so many young people. That's truly one of the things that we have been working hard at because the first couple of years we did not have a lot of young people,
Hmm.
and this year, just reading the bios, I don't know a lot of these people. I know some of them, But their bios are delightful. I mean, they are on the path to becoming professionals, darn it, you know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So that's absolutely one of the things. And I think, um, where else do you find a program that welcomes every age and every ability?
Yeah,
Somebody said to me just yesterday that really this is a beautiful community building kind of activity, and it really that's what it is. I mean, at every skill level, and it's a testament to Bach's genius too,
yeah,
that that meant such a wide gamut
yeah. And
is welcome. Yeah.
and the fact that like lower level performers can actually perform this wonderful
Yep.
music.
Yep.
I love the idea for the MCs for the concert. Bach is going to be there. Is his wife going to be there this year? And
Absolutely.
if his wife is going to be there, is it Maria Barbara Bach or Anna Magdalena
No,
Bach?
it's Anna Magdalena. Yeah. Anna Magdalena is going to be there, and in full costume. So we have Michael Couric, who plays the part of Bach, also writes his entire script.
Mm,
This was his vision 5 years ago. He said, as we were planning this, he said, "Well, you have to have Bach there." And he spends hours researching and planning. And every year he has a specific theme that he's going to come at it. And he writes Anna Magdalena's part too. And Kathleen Murphy plays the part of Anna Magdalena. Yeah, I mean that this is one of the many things that makes this so incredibly unique. And so it's not just celebrating the music of Bach; it's celebrating Bach's life in through storytelling.
mhm.
And Michael just weaves everything together through the whole afternoon. Our uh, our suggestion to audience members is that they come and go as they please. We're always shocked at how many people come and stay.
Mhm.
They don't want to miss anything.
Yeah, 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 yeah. And I mean, having them perform as Bach and Anna Magdalena Bach, it must help with some of the logistical aspects of the concert too, right? Moving chairs and
Yeah,
stands, going from performer to performer.
for
Is that
sure.
is
Yeah,
that something
for
that was
sure.
intended?
That wasn't the original intention, but as you say, it helps. For sure
Hmm.
it helps. We have built in two breaks, or is it three this time? I think I have to look at the program again. At least two breaks, partly because Johann and Anna Magdalena need to go to the bathroom every once in a while.
Yeah, right.
But we also want people, I mean, we would really like it if people would get up and get a piece of cake or whatever at
Hmm.
any point during the program, but we find they don't. So,
Yeah.
we do want to build in a couple of breaks, but maybe this year, if there's a little bit more room to maneuver, people will get up during the applause and just go get something to eat or drink.
Mm. And as you've been saying, it's a super casual event, right? Like just because you go at the beginning doesn't mean to stay there for the entire
No,
time. You can come and go as you please, right?
and come at any time. Yeah.
Hmm. You yourself are going to be performing. You're performing a selection from the St. John Passion at the organ, and then you're also
Yeah.
doing a selection from the Coffee Cantata at the
Yeah.
piano. You're performing with a flute player and a soprano for the St. John Passion excerpt and a baritone for the Coffee Cantata. Can you talk about those two pieces and how did the little ensembles come together?
For sure. So I find when I'm approaching people to see if they would consider participating, it's always easier if you can already say to them, "Hey, if you want to do this, I'll play for you."
Hmm.
Um, so that takes care of that piece. And so I am actually doing a third one. So from the church cantata, Stephen Hakopena is doing a whole collection of excerpts from the BWV 152, which is an early cantata. And Stephen and I and Lee, actually the oboe player, did something together last year.
Oh,
So he said that was so much fun. Can we do it again? And he suggested the cantata. And I'm always very happy when I see a Bach score, which, when it's reduced from an ensemble for one keyboard, it's usually pretty hard. And so I always look to see if there's an obligato part, and I'm delighted if there is, because then I find somebody and I say, "Hey, would you Would you play that line? And then I don't have to play all the notes.
Yeah,
So, that's one, it's a little bit of a face-saving uh, ploy on my part.
yeah.
But Leah's a good friend of mine, and she's a fabulous oboe player. So she's playing the oboe part for one of the arias from the cantata that Stephen has chosen. The St. John Passion. Luz is my soprano section lead at Young United Church, and when I said to the choir, if anybody wants to sing, same thing, I'll play for you. And Luz said, "Oh, I'd love to sing a Folgedicht." And I said, "Oh, great! There's a significant flute part in there. Let's
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
let's ask." And Cordelia is also a good friend. I said, "Let's ask Cordelia if she'll do the flute part." So that's how that came about.
Hmm.
Uh, the coffee cantata, Lucas Watzkiewicz is singing one number from there, and he had said to me, yeah, he's my bass section lead actually at Young. He said he'd love to sing something, and I said to him, every year I wish somebody would do something from the coffee cantata. I said you should do that. So
Uh,
of course he chose the hardest one, and there's no obligato part, so I have to try to figure out how to play all the notes of that one. But yeah, it's just delightful.
hmm
So he'll do one aria and the rest that follows.
hmm I'm going to use the English translation here, and I think I have it right. I follow you likewise with joyful steps
Yeah,
from the St. John Passion because I don't want to butcher the German.
yeah,
You're going to be at the organ for that one.
yes.
Young United has got a remarkable organ. Can you talk about that instrument and what do you love about playing it as music director there?
Oh, what don't I love? It's a Letourneau. It was built in Quebec in Saint Hyacinthe by the Letourneau company. It's a tracker instrument, so it has Baroque-like action. It's a small instrument. It only has two keyboards, but every single stop on that organ can stand on its own.
Yeah,
And that's fairly unusual for pipe organs, that usually you have to come up with a little bit of a soup and pull out a couple of stops to try and get the kind of depth or color that you're looking for. It's clear, it speaks beautifully. The colors are extremely varied. It works beautifully for Baroque music, but it is not specifically a Baroque instrument. So for every Sunday service, uh, I can play pretty much anything. I mean, the huge romantic French compositions, not so much on that one. It's not really a good instrument for the big symphonic organ works, but that's no big tragedy for my personality. But um, any works that have been written in the last couple of years to pre-Baroque, everything
yeah,
everything
yeah,
works beautifully. Yeah.
yeah. It's a remarkable instrument. It all sounds so amazing. How much does it cost to attend the Bach Marathon and where do the proceeds go?
It does not cost. We have said pay as you are able. So we are happy to welcome donations or just contributions, I should say. Our treasurer tells us we're not to use the word donation because we can't give tax receipts.
Right.
So to pay as you are able at the door. The proceeds go to the RCCO Winnipeg Center, and mostly what we use, anything that we profit from, we tend to use the funds for scholarships for beginning
Mm,
organists,
yeah,
and of course to fund other events. I mean, there are expenses involved in this, so we do have a very, very generous sponsor, but there are always expenses, and we have a big concert coming up in June. We're bringing in Isabelle Demers from Montreal.
mm,
She's brilliant, and that too will be a fairly expensive event. So,
yeah.
uh, yeah, we just cycle it back into doing what we do.
Mhm. Uh, I know you were alluded to it before, but you are the programming person. What are you looking forward to most about Saturday?
Oh man, and I do find the narration delightful. Um, I'm looking forward to the variety. We have a recorder ensemble, we have a flute ensemble, we have singing, we have keyboard playing, we have some fabulous organ pieces. Some of the
Yeah.
um, Peter Fine, an RCCO member, is beginning the day off, the afternoon, with one of Bach's trio sonatas. Like if you want to find something that truly defines whether you can play organ or not, then you play a trio sonata. They're bloody difficult.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and the E flat major one, the first one is lovely. It's a great way to start the afternoon, and we've got a couple of other big organ pieces being played. One of my students is doing the E flat major fugue, which is often referred to as the Saint Anne fugue.
Mm.
It's the beginning of the Klavierübung. It's a massive piece, and it's absolutely brilliant as well, and others too. I mean, there's some great organ music being played, and lots of. Uh, I love it that we always have excerpts either from the cantatas or the passions. Mostly it tends to be from the church cantatas. So I
Hmm.
love it that we have a few secular ones too. And as I said, we've never had anything from the coffee cantata. Maybe next year we'll get the whole thing performed.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
In a coffee house type setting too.
Oh,
It'd be perfect.
exactly. It's perfect. It's just
Yeah.
perfect. Yeah.
Lottie, this has been so fantastic to talk to you today. I hope the Bach Marathon is a big success. All the best on Saturday. And thanks for taking the time to sit down and talk with me today.
Oh,
It's been great.
thank you very much.
For our Classic 107 listeners, the Royal Canadian College of Organists Bach Marathon takes place this Saturday, April 5th, starting at 1 p.m. For more details, visit rcco.ca or go to classic107.com. I've embedded a direct link to the Bach Marathon page in the article about the event that you can find up there now. Lottie, thanks again.
Thank you.